The ceasefire is still on. The bombs are still falling. On the morning of May 8th, the UAE Ministry of Defense announced its air defenses are actively monitoring 3 Iranian drones and 2 ballistic missile launches directed at the country, resulting in injuries to multiple people. This is the second major Iranian attack on the UAE in days. Over the total duration of this conflict, the UAE has now absorbed more than 2,000 drones, 29 cruise missiles, and 551 ballistic missiles. What triggered today's attack was what happened Thursday night in the Strait of Hormuz. CENTCOM confirmed it officially. On May 7th, Iranian forces launched multiple missiles, drones, and small boats against the USS Truckton, the USS Rafael Peralta, and the USS Mason as the 3 guided missile destroyers transited the international sea passage. No U.S. assets were struck. U.S. forces eliminated every inbound threat and responded with self-defense strikes, hitting Iranian missile and drone launch sites, command and control locations, and intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance nodes on the Iranian coastline. NASA satellite fire data showed multiple fires burning in the Strait of Hormuz shortly before midnight Thursday. And then Friday morning, Iran launched again, this time at the UAE. When a reporter asked Trump directly whether the ceasefire with Iran was still on, his answer was, "Yeah, it is. They trifled with us today. We blew them away. I'll let you know when there's no ceasefire." You won't have to know. You're just going to have to look at one big glow coming out of Iran. The ceasefire is officially still on. Everything happening right now is officially inside it. Iran claimed its missile inventory is not at 75% as leaked U.S. intelligence suggested. They claim it's at 120%. That number and what it means for everything that happens next is the story. To understand what happened Thursday night and what is unfolding Friday morning, you need the cumulative picture. The Strait of Hormuz is a 21-mile-wide channel flanked by Iran on one side and Oman on the other. The USS Truckton, USS Rafael Peralta, and USS Mason were transiting the international sea passage, a deliberate assertion of freedom of navigation in a waterway Iran has been contesting since the conflict began. Iran's response, according to CENTCOM, was multiple missiles, drones, and small boats launched simultaneously against all 3 vessels. Every missile was intercepted. Every drone was eliminated. The fast attack boats were destroyed. U.S. aircraft then struck the Iranian coastline, targeting launch sites, command infrastructure, and reconnaissance assets. The UAE has absorbed more than 2,000 drones, 29 cruise missiles, and 551 ballistic missiles over the course of this conflict. The Fujairah oil industry zone, struck days ago, was the world's primary alternative oil export terminal. Now, on May 8th, the UAE is again under active ballistic missile and drone attack. Iran claimed its missile inventory and launcher capacity are not at 75% of pre-war levels, as the leaked CIA assessment suggested, but at 120%. Both the diplomatic complaint from Barrage and the capability claim arrived on the same day as a fresh missile barrage against the UAE. Iran claims its missile capacity is at 120% of pre-war levels. The UAE is under active ballistic missile attack right now. Both of those sentences are true at the same time. CENTCOM's statement is specific and unambiguous. On May 7th, Iranian forces launched multiple missiles, drones, and small boats against 3 U.S. Navy guided missile destroyers. No U.S. assets were struck. CENTCOM forces eliminated inbound threats and conducted self-defense strikes targeting Iranian military facilities. CBS News reporting confirmed U.S. Navy destroyers were attacked by swarms of Iranian fast attack boats, engaging them with 5-inch main guns and small-caliber fire. U.S. forces responded by destroying the attacking boats. U.S. warplanes then struck targets on the Iranian coastline. Trump stated publicly, 3 world-class American destroyers just transited very successfully out of the Strait of Hormuz under fire. There was no damage done to the 3 destroyers, but great damage done to the Iranian attackers. They were completely destroyed, along with numerous small boats. These boats went to the bottom of the sea quickly and efficiently. Missiles were shot at our destroyers and were easily knocked down. On May 8th, the UAE Ministry of Defense announced 3 Iranian drones and 2 ballistic missiles launched against the country, with injuries reported and air defense systems actively engaging. The cumulative attack exceeds 2,000 drones, 29 cruise missiles, and 551 ballistic missiles. Iran's Foreign Minister Araghchi issued a statement. Every time a diplomatic solution is on the table, the U.S. opts for a reckless military adventure. Iranians never bow to pressure, and diplomacy is always the victim. Iran's counter to the leaked CIA assessment claimed missile capacity at 120% of pre-war readiness. And in the middle of all of this, Iranian forces accidentally seized their own shadow fleet tanker, the Ocean Koi, in the Gulf of Oman, detaining a vessel that has operated as part of Iran's own shadow fleet since at least 2020. The ceasefire is officially still in place. Iran just launched ballistic missiles at the UAE. The U.S. just destroyed Iranian fast attack boats and struck the coastline. I need you to understand what it means that all of those things are simultaneously true. The ceasefire that has been officially in place since April 8th has now been explicitly confirmed by Trump as still operative, even as Iran launches ballistic missiles at the UAE, even as U.S. warplanes strike the Iranian coastline, even as Iranian fast attack boats are destroyed in the Strait of Hormuz. Trump's statement frames Thursday's exchange as a clean U.S. military victory. Iran attacked, every missile and drone was intercepted, the attacking boats were destroyed, the destroyers rejoined the blockade. The clean outcome framing assumes Iran's attack was the terminal event. But Iran launched again on May 8th against the UAE. The Hormuz engagement did not deter a follow-on attack. It preceded one. Trump's statement about ceasefire collapse, you're just going to have to look at one big glow coming out of Iran, reframes what the current situation actually is. Trump is describing a threshold. Below that threshold, ceasefire in place, exchanges absorbed, strikes conducted as self-defense, negotiations continuing. Above that threshold, a qualitatively different military campaign. The current situation is officially below that threshold. Iran is testing where that threshold is. Every attack that doesn't produce the big glow tells Iran something about the boundary. Iran's 120% capability claim is part of the same threshold testing dynamic. A claim of 120% capacity is a deterrence message directed at Washington. What is in place is not a pause in fighting. It is a managed escalation framework where both sides are conducting military operations while simultaneously claiming the diplomatic window remains open. The ceasefire is officially on. Air defenses are active. The fires from Thursday night are visible on satellite. The deal that Trump says Iran wants to sign a lot more than I do has not been signed. The glow has not appeared yet. What has appeared is everything that precedes the threshold without crossing it. If you want coverage that tracks the threshold Trump described, the capability claims Iran is making, the UAE's escalating cumulative damage, and the diplomatic track that is simultaneously continuing, subscribe. Leave a comment. If Iran's missile capacity is genuinely at or above pre-war levels rather than degraded to 75% as U.S. intelligence assessed, does the entire pressure campaign logic need to be recalibrated? And does that change when and how a deal gets reached? Iran seized its own shadow fleet tanker in the Gulf of Oman. That detail and what it says about the pressure the IRGC is under is the next layer of this story.